Why am I wearing this scarf? Well, it was a birthday gift. That's one reason. The other reason is because it's an unusual choice. And this video is all about making the unusual choice or embracing your originality. Today, I think more than ever, being original is a value that we should aspire to. It always has been, but I think predominantly now it's more important than ever because of how much AI is influencing us and social media algorithms trying to put people all into the same sort of creative spiral. All the tools of creativity lead people into similar directions, and there's more and more voices out there than ever, and now there's AI generated content that is only really going to duplicate things that have been done before. So the essence of originality is doing the new thing, something that no one's seen before, and helping humanity evolve into the next dimension. So I think originality is becoming a smarter and smarter strategy all the time. But I wrote some stuff about it this morning. Are you original? I also have a song called Are You Original, which maybe I'll play it in a little bit. But are you original? Why is originality your superpower? The most original man in the world had to wait for the world to catch up. You need to be patient if you're the house of an original vision. Often originality isn't rewarded in the lifetime of an artist or a creator. It's true that many go to the grave without the world ever having thrown them any kind of flowers. And the truly great are often summoned and lauded by generations yet to be born when they walk the streets of the world looking for their artistic fix. The stories of artists not getting their proper due until long after their death are very common. Miles Davis on the West Side Highway in a yellow Ferrari, hanging out with cocaine and a horn of madness blowing from generations of jazzers all over his psychology. Jimi Hendrix on fire like his Stratocaster, opening for the Monkees and getting booed off the stage. Van Gogh scaring the birds flying into a rainy gray dawn as they shoot into the sky, running from the sound of the gun as his belly starts bleeding. Originality can be terrifying, and people resist it because originality at its core is a shifting and not just a reflection of personal evolution, but how the world evolves and expands and changes on the level of its foundations. The world changes through singular visions of individuals that seem insane at first before they melt into the status quo. Lou Reed reading Venus in Furs and realizing rock and roll could be literature, not just doo-wop love songs, but stuff with real grit. Andy Warhol in the soup can realizing the supermarket was full of masterpieces. His soup can, famous soup can and Brillo boxes. Originality is a heavy lift. Even those that get rewarded in their lifetime almost always have to take some punishment by the masses that are threatened by anyone who is out of line, anyone who bucks the system, anyone who is original. To be original is to go into a different direction than the tried and the true, to be a square peg in a round hole, to take what's different about you and to, rather than hide it, elevate it. Present it, wrap it up in funky wrapping paper, and present it like a gift to this strange little world we live in. As if to say, here's what we are here's where we are going now. Here is something new we can do. Here's a new landscape for us to explore. If you think about it, that's what originals do. They take what is possible, they expand our possibilities. They expand humanity's possibilities, and so the resistance to it kind of makes a lot of sense. An original is asking the world to stand on his shoulders and jump off from there. When we really consider the audacity of it, the resistance to it makes much more sense. Usually originality is considered from the vantage point of time passing and the original offering already having been accepted. We then chastise ourselves as a collective for not getting it sooner. Yeah, yeah, after it's already been accepted, it just all seems obvious. But when it first happens, it's spooky and scary. But then we sort of collectively punish ourselves for allowing artists like Van Gogh to go to the grave without ever having applauded him, even though we weren't there. But there were others there that could have said, hey, Van Gogh, nice job. But originality is usually one person shifting the nature of our collective reality, or trying to turn the whole world on a new and different kind of axis. Axis bold as love. So perhaps the rarity of true originality can be explained this way. The world can only stomach or contain or contend with so much change. After all, we do live in a chaotic world of unknown origin heading to destinations we can only guess the nature of. The status quo is like our security blanket in a world that in many ways is terrifying. Original people are terrifying because they're evoking change, and we want what's tried and true because it makes us feel secure. It makes us feel like we understand the world. And these hooligan original types come along and remind us that we don't understand much at all. We like things to stay the same so that our world may be contained in illusions spun up by our tired minds. Jaco Pastorius living in a park in Florida, ripping the frets out of his electric bass and stealing the essence of the cosmos in the spaceship called music, makes people uncomfortable. Because he is a reflection of the infinite we are here to become. It's easier to just call him crazy. And so there is a very real pressure for the greats to agree with the will of the people and fall into the clutches of self-destruction. The real originals often have big demons riding shotgun in the hot rod called genius. We as a collective like our shifts to be slow and contained, but they tend to come from beings exploding into the now. And those beings tend to have lots of demons. And if you consider the fact that the world does resist originality, and we're all sort of a collective consciousness, it kind of is an interesting thing to contemplate, that people who have these original visions, who often self-destruct, perhaps they are sort of agreeing with the collective that there is something wrong with them on some cosmic level or some level of deep down in their consciousness. And I'm sure they have all kinds of other demons that sort of led them towards visionary genius as well. But it's an interesting thing to think about, the fact that it's tough to be original. It's a heavy lift, and the world will resist you, and they'll applaud you. And a lot of times you get applauded while you're still alive, but a lot of times you don't. Why then is originality more important now than ever? If you want your voice heard these days, originality and depth are becoming friendly strategies. Why? This is interesting to me because I think we're coming into a time, and this is just a theory, but that originality is going to be more important than ever. Because if you think about how much information is out there, how many voices are sort of doing similar things to each other, and then AI, and I go on to write all this too, so you'll probably hear it twice, but in different ways. But if you think about all that stuff, it means that really to stand out now, and it's always been the case, it's best to be original, but I think maybe we're being pushed towards the importance of originality more now than maybe ever before in the history of being a human. And here we go. We live in a world of social media noise and AI infiltration, everything riding in the vehicle called content, where the biggest platforms reward trends and people making different versions of the same thing over and over again. What could possibly make you stand out in an atmosphere such as this? What could possibly set you apart? Originality will never be an easy lift. So don't get it twisted. Originality will never just be automatically accepted. But as AI comes in and can easily make infinite versions of what has already existed, and as people take it to the tools of the algorithms, begging them to fit in, originality is quickly becoming the only strategy that makes sense. Follow the unusual choice. I wore this scarf because it's an unusual choice. To illustrate that. Like, if you think about the essence of originality, it's making an unusual choice, a choice that's not usual, that comes from where? It comes from inspiration or presence. So make the unusual choice. Perhaps all these copycat weapons aimed at the soul of man that seem like the death knell for creativity are the very resistance we need to point us back into the direction of original visions becoming important again. Not that they've ever gone out of style. It's always, originality is always the goal. Perhaps we are in some strange digital soil blooming original voices again. So yeah, that's basically the essence of my idea this morning, was to write about originality and how it seems to be the best strategy. Oh, it always has been, but more now than ever. I think with the infiltration of AI, it's just we're gonna have endless stuff that reflects what's already occurred, and humanity's only way to overcome becoming redundant in a world of AI creativity, so to speak, because who knows if AI is really creative, is to tap into what sets us apart from algorithms and copying what's already been done, is that we have the connection to source that whispers to us in the now moment new versions of things that AI could never imagine. Because people always say AI is so much smarter than humans, like excuse me, and will become smarter all the time. That's true on the level of information that already exists, but not of the spiritual information that we can receive in the now moment. Uh-oh, my voice is dry and now coughing. So I wrote a little poem. Let me finish with that. Make the unusual choice, the suggestion you hear from divinity's voice, the nudge from your soul taking you outside the places they've been where copycats hide. Follow your dream, though it's spotted and blue and doesn't look like the things that they do. What makes you unique is where your treasure lies, buried deep down under infinite skies. So follow the spark, the strange lightning flash, as resistance comes in to complain and attack. Don't look for instruction outside of you. Your vision is blooming within, coming through. After all, we weren't made to be anyone else. A strange flower you are, to bloom in yourself, to push the world forward into a new realm, the kingdom within, and you at the helm. Be bold and fearless and give us your gift. No need to steal or stumble or grift. No need to borrow or candy store. Lift as the internal voice whispers your gift. That's it. Let me know how you think of this strategy of originality. Do you think it's more important than ever to be original? And how to overcome the fear of being original, because there's good reasons to be afraid to be original. Look at the history of all the original voices that have come before. It's not an easy road, but nothing in this life is easy. So there you go. Be original. Are you original? Or a copy of a copy who has lost touch with your soul? How will you get it back? The spark you lost to a world that you gave up your control. 'Cause they won't ever tell you how to get it back. The spark you lost trying to fit in when you don't fit in. Trying to fit in don't ever fit in. That's the song. Are You Original? Coming soon. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful day.